Hello, everyone, and welcome, Sarah.
Hello.
This is your celebration call, ending your 3-week, 21-day retreat journey here with us at the farm. So this,
Exactly.
yeah, so this is the last week, and yeah, this is your second time around. You spent 3 months with us earlier this year, but then you
Yeah.
decided to come back.
Yeah, yes, I did. I think it was another stage of my life. I think the first time I came to the farm was like more about stabilization and be more calm and more about like cleaning and removing things in my life. And I think that time is more about like, okay, what is the next step and what direction are we going and this
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah, it felt like last time was a lot of cleansing, like that you did a very deep detox and like grounding and arriving, and then this time felt like it was okay. Let's go deeper.
Yeah,
Let's
exactly.
get into the more emotional. Let's get into the barriers, the blocks, and
Yeah,
like what's
exactly.
holding me back in my life.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yes. This is where, yeah, this is exactly like I think we did during my stay here is identify all these sources like between like the three of you and just work on maybe like the past and the future and where I am now and what is a blockage for me and how can we remove it basically.
Yeah. It's very interesting because you are also a business owner, and so you have an agency, and you can live wherever you want in the world, and it's like it become very big very fast, and then sometimes it's difficult to find like, okay, what is where do I go, because the options are so many, and the world is
Yes.
your oyster. It's like you can do anything. So
Yes.
it felt like coming here and figure out what the next step is.
Yeah, exactly. We are. It's like as being a business owner, you interact with a lot of people. You have a lot of responsibility somehow. You need to take care of the team. You need to take care of the company, of the client, of the vision. You need to take care of the financial aspect. And I mean, like we said many times, it's a very big mirror of where you are. Like because if you don't have the vision, if you don't have the energy to work on your business, if you don't have the proper boundaries or standard or all these things in place, yes, all this entrepreneur real journey, which should be like a very beautiful adventure, actually can be very quickly a cow. And that's why it's very important to structure everything and yeah, to work on yourself.
Yeah.
Um, so that's why I think like being in the farm and working with the three of you and all the work we did since all this past year, like helped me a lot with all this aspect.
Yeah. I mean, the difference is remarkable.
Thank
So
you.
yeah, definitely. So how did you experience working with the different people? Well, how
Yeah,
has it been to work with Mark, for instance?
yes, I think like your trio, I don't know if I can say that in English, but the three of us like work very well together because you are very complementary. And among the months we yes it became very clear for me, like for example everything about Mark is very, and it become even more recently, but very straight to the point also, like, and we dig a lot into like the past and things that sometimes we say, oh, it's fine, it's okay if this happened, but actually when you really dig into that and you say, actually, this still have an impact on my life today, impact me, impact my relationship, and all of that. So with Mark, it was a lot about like, yeah, coming back to the past, going back to the souvenir, to the remember, to the situation, and try to identify the feeling and try to make also the connecting the dot with I behave like this today because that's happening in the past, and how we can clear the energy, understand and accept and work and let it go. So it was a lot of this with Mark. And he has got a very, he's very straightforward. Like yeah, it's like even more since a few days. And I really like it because it was very eyes opening. Like he really understand, and it gave also like another perspective for me as a man, like a little bit as a big brother, I would say. Like it was very interesting working with Mark. And with Simba is like the encyclopedia of everything related to body and emotion and yes, and grounded and mental health. And yes, Simba knows so much. Okay. Oh, yeah, it's like the connection between the body and the mind, for example. One day it just touched something in my leg. He was like, what if I do this? And then I start to cry. And but I know it was not just the pain of the body, but it was more like, yeah, something very more deep where like I can let it go. So yeah, everything with Simba was more soft and with more understanding and giving the place to express. And he's so passionate and he's guide you like it was very easy to open and to share about the emotion with Simba, especially the ones that experiment in the farm, like because along the way I experiment a lot of up and down, and Simba gives this place to express without any judgment. And I really found that very, very helpful and supportive. And with you, Sarah, like I said in my previous call, is I mean we know each other since a long time now, and like you have been like a very big support for me. It was same, like very sharp, very straight to the point, and like what we're gonna do next, and like what is the next step, what is the future, like what we're gonna build together, like who you want to be, who do you want to become, like just make a vision and just go for it. And no, you don't dream small, and I believe in you and all of that. So you is very like future and structure also. Like if you want to have this vision of you, yourself, your business, your team, where you want to go, what is the next step? Because you are very into you very methodic, is very like step by step. But you have to become like this if you want to reach that. So how you become like this? It's a very like a roadmap. I already said in a previous call, but the fact that you are coming from the corporate, you have a corporate background, and the fact that you are able to speak my language, what resonates with me, not something that is too yes, there is some language and words that I can be like a bit, no, I don't want to talk about that, but you bring everything to the reality with words that I can understand and something very pragmatic. And that's really what I like about you. And you are so such a big mirror about, oh, you look at what you do, how you say what you say, then it's yes, it's sometimes very challenging, but it's also a very good mirror. And if nobody holds it, it's difficult to watch our own behavior. So sometimes, like I say, it's tricky and challenging and make you like sad and shame and like all the feeling ever. But at the end, it's like to make you grow. And yeah, that's not a lot of people do that. Is able to see it and is able to hold this mirror. So that's what I like working with you, especially.
Thank you so much for all of this. This is the
Morning boost.
I felt this was I mean, it is the celebration call, but we're here to celebrate you, and I just felt super celebrated. So thank you so much for that. So, guys, what are you noticing in Sarah? You've been with her for a long period of time, and I mean, she's been a big part of our lives this year. What are you noticing?
Well, I mean, for me, I've just noticed that she's opening up.
Yeah.
And one of the favorite comments that I like to tell Sarah is, how do you really feel about that? Because I'll ask the first time, how do you feel? Okay. This is the common response from her. And then I'll follow it up. How do you really feel about it? Okay. And before, earlier on, she wouldn't really open up that much. And now when I ask her that question, how do you really feel? Then she's able to articulate more. And then I've also noticed that because of the work she's been doing with Simba in the body, she can articulate her feeling and where it is in her body. So I think that's a massive, massive shift. So when you're able to articulate your emotions and describe where it's coming from in your body, That is fantastic. And so it's been a big shift for you, Sarah, to be able to go from not speaking about your emotions to deeply speaking about your emotions.
Say awareness. There's a lot more awareness, and on many levels, right? Like you can be aware of your behaviors, about your body and patterns, but also, like Mark said, you're aware of yourself. But the work we've been doing, you can see it in your team members and in your friends, right? So you can recognize it in your own body. I've seen you start to recognize it in others, like, oh, when I do this, that actually creates that in this person, but they might not tell me. But it's kind of for me as a leader or someone that might be more aware or more that explored body work a little bit more and aware body awareness, to articulate that to someone else. Okay, wow, because you had the same journey yourself, right? Like, I don't want to feel it. It's not comfortable. I don't know how to talk about it. But as you've done the work, you can open up a space for someone else just by being you, right? Not being a therapist, but you're really able to see that now. And I noticed that what you said in your team and with your friends, how the dynamic around you change. And I mean, I don't see your team members, but I see how you interact with other people here at the farm. And I see that's a big difference, how people feel around you, and people feel very supported. I mean, in the beginning was more like, I stay to myself, I don't talk to anyone, and I do my work. And now it's this kind of flowers, open, warm, inclusive. And that's a very big shift, definitely.
Yeah, I feel the transformation is just wonderful. And the big thing for me is to see, like, for every step that you make in yourself, that I see, because I'm so involved with your life and have been for a long time, I can see how things change in the outside world for you. So that's the biggest mirror for me, that I see how you shift in the business, with the clients, with this, with that, with relationships, with everything. It's like you change and then the world changes.
Yes.
And that's the coolest thing for me to watch and to see that. And also, as Mark and Simba, I mean the interconnected, the interpersonal relationships, I can see you're so much more grounded, you have so much clearer boundaries, you trust yourself more, it's like you believe in yourself more, and it's just, you're just calm now, and that has an effect on your external. And I can really see, I mean, we're not going to share any details about anything, but when we talk about things and I see what happens in your life, I can see that it's shifting, it's leveling up, and it's grounding, and it's becoming more, you're believing in yourself more, you can trust yourself more with the decisions that you make.
Yes.
Which makes it much, much easier to navigate the outside world and the external world, and everything that you come in contact with is changing. And that is just so interesting to see, just something. It's like Simba said, like the flowers, like you watch it grow in front of your eyes, and that's it's a very, very beautiful experience to be part of, so thank you so much for allowing us to be such a big part of your life and journey, and that you share. And I know that parts have been hard for you, I mean, we're not all of us don't have, the most beautiful experiences, in the past, and we carry that with us. But that's because we want to work with conscious leaders, and I feel like you really embody that, because yes, definitely, because you come here and you say, I want to be a better person. I want to feel better. I want to be better. I want to do better. I want to be better for other people. That for me is a conscious leader, to someone who really looks within first, instead of looking at what other people do. You look at yourself first and say, I want to be better. And then when you do better, everything else becomes better. And that's, for me, that's very empowering to see women, doing that and taking that accountability and that responsibility about how do I show up in the world, because that's what the inner work does. It propels you forward in every aspect of your life. You can't just choose, I just want to be better with my family. Okay, if that's the angle, you can go there, but it will affect everything else, because the relationship with other people is just a relationship with other people. It's just that the other ones are closer sometimes and more difficult.
Sometimes. Yes, it's exactly what you said. Is it was very interesting when we reflect about like all the time we have worked together, and to see the evolution. And like you said, at the moment when I start to work with myself, when I start this journey of self-development, and where like the type of client I was attracting, or the type of relationship I could have with my team, partnership, or with my client, everything was completely different to what I have now. And I think it's very important also sometimes to step back, and that's why the farm is very good, because it's very outside the city. It's like very isolated somewhere in a countryside, like jungle. You know, like you really step back and you say, okay, what do I want? Do I want to carry on like this with this type of relationships, this type of dynamic, or do I want to attract this type of person in my life and this type of team, and so on and so on. So it's very important sometimes to step back, to reflect, to say, okay, so if I want that, how I can change, because that's the only thing that we can control, right? Is like, working our trauma or like past experience, watching our behavior, adjusting every day, so we can be like you say, like a better person, and be more happy, and make people around us happier after eventually.
Yeah. And I think that's so beautiful to watch. And I want to ask you, you so to be able to do this journey, you had to work also, you know, while you were doing the work. Yes. So how did that feel for you?
It was all right. It was not the best, but it was all right. After, like, when you choose to go into such environment, like I say, isolated in the jungle and so on, like with workshop, with a very strict schedule, when you make this commitment, you know what you expect. So you make the choice and you are conscious about this, and you know that you won't be able to work 12 hours right away. It's a choice that you make. But like we talked just before, it's worth it, because after you can catch up, you will have more energy, you will be more efficient, your business will grow, things like this, right? So I would say in terms of work hour, is a little bit a sacrifice, of course. But I found in terms of condition, everything very comfortable. I have my 2 screen, I have my microphone, I have a beautiful view, the Wi-Fi is perfect. And I know, like, every day I have like a 3 rendezvous, like I have my meditation at 6:30, I have my workshop at 10, I have the lunch, I have also the session on the afternoon, and then I have coaching. So as we already know, like some hour already booked, and then we have like 3-hour coaching also, then you arrange your meeting around that. So actually, I think the condition could be sometime, yes, like less hour, but in the same time, you are so much focused during this hour, and you don't have also all the distractions that you can have when you are in the city or working on a co-working or some office. Nobody is here to ask you, hey, do you want to have a coffee? Let's talk about that. No, like, you are in the middle of nowhere. So only choice, make a step forward, work on your business, and have all the support also, because many times I come to a session and say, wow, yeah, this happened. And again, I found myself into this situation about my organization or a sales call or whatever. And like, just take the problem and just bring it to you, all of you, but here it's because you are still not sure about your self-worth, or here, if you do this and organize like that, maybe it would be changing. And so I think, it's like for the one who want to spend like 3 weeks in the retreat, is totally doable, possible.
Yeah. And thank you for sharing that, because what I see in you was that in the beginning you were like, oh my God, I have so much to do, and it's like matching the two worlds, like, and it's interesting because you mentioned it, like, I can't do the 12-hour shifts, and in my head, like, wow, no, nobody should, it's like, it's not a sweatshop, but that's sometimes how it feels to be a business owner, that you just you just can't stop doing things, and it always feels like I need to do more. It's like, if I want to be successful, I need to work harder, I need to do more, but that's not the truth, and watching you is the key to that, because after a while you came to me and said, like, I get so much done.
Yes.
Everything is just starting to open up. It's just becoming so easy. It's like, wow. And then because I think the environment and then the fact that you can clear out so much and start to focus, and so much energy goes into the nonsense of running around doing different things that is not really paying off, and it feels like you were able to really bring it all together, and like, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do this with this and that with that, and the fact that you can bring it into the sessions.
Yes.
And we've been working with focusing more on the emotional, and then sometimes more on the business, because we've been working with what happens and what your intention was, and that what you want to work with.
Yes, I think like many of the sessions that I have, I mean, like one of the biggest topic, for example, I work was with Simba about everything about structure and framework and everything. And again, that's such a big link with your nervous system and not bringing stress in your life and working your boundaries. So again, like the two worlds between professional and personal, it's so much link. So with Simba, we work a lot about, like still like with this client, I can see the project is going a bit like this, and it was not my intention, and I need to, take over again and reframe. And we work like about like contract and structure and speaking your truth and welcoming and like giving again, like I know already my process was already in place, but we really refine that with Simba. And at the moment where you do that, and after you document everything and you spend time to be focused, like you said, and working just on this aspect of this the business, like for example, how I welcome my client into my world, for example. Then you teach that to your team, and you make some video tutorial and so on. So you very like focus on one topic, and after everything is done, like I work a lot with Simba about it. I implement it into my company, adapt it and implement it, and now the process is done, and now it's delegating and everything is smooth. The client is happy, I am happy, my team is happy, and like just the pressure is just so low now. So that's, for example, a nice illustration of the work that you do, the three of you and the business.
That's very interesting. Thank you so much for sharing that. So before we finish, I just want to ask you, yesterday you came to me with a big emotional hug and just said, like, thank you so much for changing my life. And what did you,
yeah.
Yeah,
we have like we really have a special connection and relationships, Sarah. And I mean, you met me literally, I think 4 months after I start my, I think even now, like 3 months after I start my digital journey. So like digital nomad journey and my entrepreneurial journey. So it was 5 years. And yes, in January it's going to be 5 years that we know each other. So, wow. And so many things happen, right? And the first thing that you changed was everything related to nutrition, and that's a big part of our life. And it's been like a challenge, but like nutrition, for example. So definitely, for example, nutrition, you open me like to the world of meditation. If I went to Vipassana, it's because you introduced me what is Vipassana and what is meditation and why it's important. And one of the first things that you tell me when we met is your life and who you are like a big house. And if you looks beautiful, where you feel good in it, you need to first remove all the things that mess up your house, you know. And it's a beautiful image. I think it's very clear, and this is what we have done, like for this beginning of this relationship. It's like removing, calming, and then I come to the farm where we go very deep, where like, okay, make you even more calm, more in control, understand your emotion, like control somehow your emotion, or let it go when it needs to be go, and all of that. Yeah, you like everything related to like be grounded, calm, and like open my world to all this self-development journey is thanks to your meeting, definitely. So I'm very grateful for that. It's yes, you definitely, your meeting you changed my life.
Thank you so much for sharing and being in our lives and allowing us to be part of your change, you know, because if you don't let people in to support you, nothing will happen. So, I mean, you did all the work. Because you came to us and you started asking questions, and you wanted to be part of our lives, and you wanted to do things, and you wanted to change. So, I mean, of course, we have been guiding you, and it's been going deeper and deeper and deeper over the years. But you are the one who's been doing the work, and you are the one allowing us in and trusting us and allowing the change to happen, because it's all you.
Yes, William was there, but like you, the three of you, like was very like, and how to say that, you really show me the way, like you have been very supportive, show me the way, and like all with your different specialization, but you have like a lot of knowledge. Like I'm very grateful to be able to ask a specific question to one of you, and I know that the answer that I will have will be on point.
Thank you so much, Sarah.
Any
final words from the guys? It's been a ladies' call this.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I just, you know, it's been nice to watch Sarah evolve and change, and you know, it's been nice to see how practical things that we talk about fall back into her ability to work in the business. And I remember specifically one example. We were sword fighting, and we were talking about people pleasing. So when you ask someone else to do something and they say yes, but they're actually feeling no. I think Sarah and another participant that was here at the farm had a mutual understanding, and both of them realized that, like, oh, wait a minute, I think that I people please a lot. And then, you know, how does that in turn work in my business? So like Sarah was mentioning how, like, if she asks her employees to do something, you know, what is the relationship like inside of that if there's any people pleasing? So I don't know, Sarah, if you want to share more about that, but it was nice to see that the work that we do at the farm has so many different levels, on the interpersonal level, and then on the business level, the spiritual level, the bodily level. So it's been a unique journey.
Yes, for me, this specific moment, and we were also mentioning it yesterday, is it's funny, like sword fighting. I would never expect this to bring up this clarity about this topic, but I think I really want my team to feel good and to work in a nice environment and to feel supported and everything. So I start to ask more and more, like, how do you feel? Are you feeling okay? Is the workload is okay? Do you want to express something? Can I do something for you? Like, I try to do the most I can for them, but sometimes they're like, just yes, like these ladies when I was interacting, yes, all good. So I say, okay, so I can give you more. Then is it fine? Yeah, it's all good. But I didn't see actually to this lady that actually she was already overwhelmed, and it was absolutely not fine. I just listen and say, oh, but if she tell me it's fine, so she allow me to go quicker or faster, or like with more energy or something like this. So it's interesting, like in this little container, that I am able to see, okay, the behaviors that I have here is actually the same that I have with my team, for example, or with my client when I ask them, okay, you need to do this, all good? Yes, all good. Okay, so you can do also that. And then after nothing arrive, and I'm like, why you told me all good? yeah, but actually, I'm like, again.
Yeah, but that's when you connect the nervous system to, and you connect it in real time, and then you can apply that to other situations. And being a conscious leader is to be able to notice these things
Yes.
in your client and in your team, and taking, like, if I'm the leader, then it comes with a lot of responsibility, and being able to notice these small changes in people, it just, I mean, it's so huge. It helps on so many levels, and you see it in yourself and you see it in others. Yeah, I love that, how sword fighting can bring those things up.
Yes, it's very surprising. Like, I have like so much reticence to do that, but now every time I'm like, oh, I learned something actually. Yes, is definitely like start to be aware of what we have the tendency to do, and then okay, you're aware, you can change. Or I think one of the things that I really learned like during these past weeks with you was, okay, I have this behavior is inside me. Sometimes this is my nature and I cannot change myself. So it's like, okay, I think for some stuff I accept it. No, I'm like this. Okay, I like, don't know, starting project and so on. But it's about like, I say, also like how, if I have this behavior, if this is me, like how can I adjust so it's safe for me and safe for the other? Yes. So I have the tendency to be dynamic with my team and like motivate and give work, and everything is very like moving and moving forward and so on. Okay, I have this tendency. So now I'm aware. So maybe the people in front of me will be people pleasing or shy to say something or anything. So now, because I have this nature, I need to step back and say, be careful because you're a little bit like this. Double check about how the person feel about that and make sure that everything is all right. So it's a lot of awareness at the end, and know yourself, right?
Yeah, and the communication with other people, like really so we talk about that a lot, like the true communication where everyone is in harmony, and that there's openness and there's truth, and if we can bring that out in other people as a conscious leader, then wow, things will definitely change. When your team feels safe and heard and trusted, I mean, boom, they just flourish.
Yes,
it's amazing.
Yeah.
They feel valued, and I mean, wow, then the business just explodes when things like that happens.
Everything, like now that like I can see during this year, like already the team it's just amazing, and even the relationship with the client is different, like so many things, like so much change, right?
Thank you so much. It feels like we could go on for days. Any final words for you, Simba, before we let Sarah go?
Yeah, I really feel we talked about this in the beginning when we started working 5 years ago. I said, the way you do anything is the way you do everything. And it really comes down to energy work, right? The way that you work with energy in you. And you're like, that's very abstract. What does that mean? What do I do with it? That's not tangible.
No.
But then I think we really got into it with the standards, and like a lot of the focus when you came was, if I fix this and this and that, then I feel good, right? And a lot of the work we did was like, when you start to feel good about yourself, you will set up standards, and the things around you will be more harmonious as well. So I think that's definitely been the biggest shift I've seen the last time when you came back, now that you could really see like, oh, wow, there's something inside of me that creates whatever is happening around me. And once I start to address that and set up a set of standards for myself and others, the energy becomes so much easier to the dynamic, friends, colleagues, whatever it is, whatever interaction it is.
It's very true. Yes, there is something is of course the journey, like it's been a while that we start all of that, but now there is definitely some standard where I'm like, I don't want to be in this situation anymore. And when we go to another step, and it feels so comfy, and like I want this I'm not tolerate that anymore. So like, and like you say, like working on yourself and the standard and the vision, and be clear about what you want. I mean, professionally or personally, like on a personal life, is like I want to be surrounded by people like this. I want to have life like this, and you set up standard, and then you don't want to come back to previous situations. That's also one thing where I'm like, there is no way. Don't want this anymore.
Yeah, that's what I felt, because we 5 years ago you were living in Chiang Mai, and then we were working more with each other, and then you were in Bali for COVID for 2 years plus, and then we worked less with each other, and then after that, when COVID kind of started passing, then I really felt like you coming back to us and said, I can't do this anymore. Like, this needs to change. This needs to change, and this needs to change. And then we started to work really more pinpoint things. And then you decided to come here, and 2 rounds, and so now you're checking out and flying away.
Yes.
To new adventures, and we wish you all the best. And thank you so much for sharing your journey and being part of our community here at Living with the Spirit, and the farm especially.
Yeah, thank you to have welcomed me, and thank you for everything.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Bye-bye.